name is Eric Finzi. I'm here to explain how in the world did I get started on this path to treat depression by working on paintings here in Maryland. And the answer is that I was working on a series of paintings about this mental hospital patient called Augustine. And she was a patient back in the late 1800s in France, and I came across these incredible photographs of her with these really poignant facial expressions. And I was working on these paintings, and then I was sort of going back to my childhood, remembering how I used to walk into my mother's bedroom, and I could tell by just looking at her face what was going on inside with my mom. My mom suffered from depression. So after working on these paintings and thinking about my mother, I started reading Charles Darwin just to sort of understand what were people thinking in the late 1800s. So it turns out that Darwin had this theory that your facial expressions feed back to your brain. And not just that if you think a sad thought, fine, you look sad. No. It was more that if you make a sad expression or you make an angry expression, that you'll actually feel that anger and sadness. And I found that William James, the famous psychologist, further developed this theory. So it dawned on me that, hey, the way to really find out if this is real or not is to do a test. So in 2003, I started doing an experiment in my office where I asked a very simple question. If I could prevent people from looking sad or looking angry, could I actually help them feel better and prevent them from feeling sad and feeling angry? So I took depressed patients and I treated them with one treatment with Botox right here, because it turns out Botox inhibits the nerve going to the muscle right here. So if you put Botox here, you can't frown. So you can't look sad, you can't make that really angry expression. And lo and behold, it turns out that the majority of patients improved dramatically in their depression. So that was back in 2003. We published the first study in 2006. And then, of course, it's so wild that nobody believed us. So I decided after that that I needed to write a book, which I published last year, called The Face of Emotion. And in this book, I help explain, well, why did I actually do the experiment in the first place? So none of this is just anecdotal. I wasn't smart enough to realize that people who were depressed got better from Botox. No, it's all based on theories of Charles Darwin and looking at these paintings and facial expressions, and also revisiting my mother's facial expressions from the time I was a 5-year-old, because they really were very strong in my memory. We also started with, I started with Dr. Norman Rosenthal, a much larger double-blind placebo-controlled trial, which we published this year in the journal Psychiatric Research, showing that in a large study that we can significantly improve depressive symptoms in a big group of people. And it had a placebo group, and they didn't improve much. And the people who got the Botox right here, many of them responded, and a lot of them went into remission after one treatment. And during this time, there have now been 2 other groups, one in Germany and one in Texas, which have replicated this data. And I'm really excited because this September, I'm going to be speaking with these 2 other groups at the World Congress of Psychiatry, where we're going to be speaking in front of thousands of psychiatrists to really bring forth this new concept of how to treat depression by using the muscles of facial expression. And that's going to be happening in September, and I think that's going to help open this up to people realizing that this is a real phenomenon that needs further investigation.